Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Today being the 33rd Mahasamadhi of Param Pujya Mataji, we pray to her to bless us all, to intensely remember her, remember the exemplary life she lived. Even after scaling the heights and reaching the spiritual summit, she never sat on a high pedestal, but instead came down as an earthly mother to all, taking care of the worldly as well as the spiritual needs of her children. The legacy she has left behind in Anandashram, the way it is run, its principles, its vision, is an ample proof of her all-loving attitude to one and all. She exhorts, it is not enough if you repeat Ram Nam. You must accompany it with intense meditation on the glories of beloved Papa. You should all the time be telling your mind, this is very important, no? All the time. You should all the time be telling your mind, Papa, you are infinite, Papa, you are all-pervading, Papa, you are everything, Papa, you are beyond everything, and so on. Otherwise, all the Ramnam you do will be superficial only, just on the surface. If your mind dwells on the divine attributes of beloved Papa, it will lend strength and power to your Ramnam and help you to see Papa in everyone around you. They are very powerful words of Mataji. On this day we should remember this, because all these important days are given to us so that it is something different from the ordinary days. We do some extra thinking, some intense thinking on the exemplary life they lived. Because at this point, when this touches, for example, today it is very clear. You should all the time be telling your mind, not merely during the Ram Nam chanting. So from today onward, we will seriously take up meditative chanting as directed by her. That means while chanting, we will simultaneously try to hammer the truth on our mind, that it is He who is making us chant the name, and that I am chanting, not that I am chanting. Normally we all feel, So if it has to come, during all the off time we have to keep on repeating this. By this process, gradually, we will be able to realize the truth that it is He and He alone who is behind all our thoughts, words and deeds, paving the way to become that we are only zero by ourselves. And we become something only because of His presence in us. We become a zero by ourselves, but with Him, as Papa used to say, zero by itself has no value, but when you put one before that, it immediately gains a value, Then you add any number of zeros, okay. But zero by itself has no value, but when it is put with something, it has got a value. So similarly, by ourselves, we are nothing. But we become something only because of His presence in us. By thus developing subservience to the higher power dwelling within, we will hasten the process of self-effacing. Self-effacing is our ultimate goal. We remain, at the same time we become the instrument of Him. Not that we don't remain, we remain as an individual. But we know now that we are what we are because of Him. So may Pujya Mataji bless us all to do so. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Salutations to Param Pujya Papa. Salutations to Param Pujya Mataji. Salutations to Param Pujya Swamiji. Salutations to all Mahatmas, brothers and sisters. Though we observe today Pujya Mataji's Mahasamadhi day, we are asking ourselves, do we actually miss her? No. The moment we think of her, the moment we look at her picture, the moment we hear her Ram Nam chanting, we feel her presence within us, is it not? Think about it. So now we have to stretch this remembrance to the rest of the time by adhering to what is expected of us by her. We keep reminding that she is watching over us. She says, these are her own words, we are so conscious of this body of ours, from the hair on the head to the nail on the toe. The whole body binds us. Set yourself free with Ram Nam and Guru Dhyan. Then slowly the feeling of I and mine will become thinner and thinner. Papa will bring this about even when you are in your own house. By these words, Pujya Mataji telling them, nobody need feel that because we are all householders, we are retired people, we don't wear these ochre robes, we will not be eligible for this. No. Mataji specifically says, Papa will bring this about even when you are in your own house. Whatever she uttered came from the depth of her experience. There has never been even one instance of tall talk. She never posed as a guru and was always bringing beloved Papa in all her talks, in all her thoughts, in all her doings. Rightly, beloved Papa himself said that she is the chosen deity of ashram. Pujya Mataji was very particular that none of the devotees, whether they adopted sannyas or not, assume the role of superiority on others. It's a thing on which we all have to remember, She was very particular that none of the devotees, whether they adopted sannyas or not, they are all of us are sadhakas. None of us should assume the role of superiority over others. Sadhakas should consider themselves as the humblest of all creatures and be prepared to do anything and everything for others. Pujya Mataji warned us that we should be careful not to entertain the feeling that we are superior to others. When we tell somebody to do something, automatically we relegate that person to an inferior position, and that is like denigrating Papa himself, she will say. Especially for sadhakas, this is not good and it retards our spiritual progress. As a mother, she would keep a watchful eye on the devotee's spiritual evolution and would lovingly advise any change that might help them in their pursuit. She evinced interest in everyone in the ashram. Whether she knew the people for years or for just a couple of hours, it made no difference at all. Whether one was far away or near also made no difference to her. What engaged Mataji's attention was the intensity of a person's devotion and the urgent need for bestowing her attention on him or her, that's all. That stemmed from her perfect identification with the entire manifestation and with the all-pervading spirit. At the same time, we also remember that some of the devotees would be the recipients of Mataji's scolding and admonition, leading them even to frustration for a moment. However, they later understood that all these came out of a heart of gold, as Pujya Swamiji mentioned. A heart which pined day and night for the supreme good. A heart that was never at rest until signs of spiritual progress were seen in all. A heart that was aching at the suffering of others, and much more so when the seekers on the path of God's realization did not run or walk fast straight to the goal, but lingered, holding on to the petty, perishable things of the world. These words we remember. It came just from Pujya Swamiji's heart. Spontaneous. Because it portrays the true picture of Pujya Mataji. Once again we will read that. All these came out of a heart of gold. A heart which pined day and night for supreme good. A heart that was never at rest until signs of spiritual progress were seen in all. In fact, she was restless, we were not restless. A heart that was aching at the suffering of others, and much more so when the seekers on the path of God realization did not run or walk fast and straight to the goal, but lingered, holding on to the petty, perishable things of the world. Pettiness is something which Mataji can never tolerate. Today we prostrate mentally at her holy feet and pray to her to bless us all, to get over all cravings and pettiness, and enable us to focus our attention on expanding the love circle, and thus make us or entitle ourselves to become her true spiritual children. Hari Om Mataji. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.